In 2012, the same year as the first VHS film, another horror anthology was released with a fresh and original concept: The ABCs of Death. So the concept here is pretty cool. While the VHS franchise had the found footage rule, or still does, I think, the ABCs of Death had 26 segments. That's one for every letter of the alphabet, with the title, beginning with the designated letter. I think you get it. Every segment was directed by different directors, really from all over the world, which I think is cool. The one aspect that doesn't make much sense to me, though, is that the segments are different lengths. Some are like 5 minutes or so, and then some seem to be around a minute. So how they divided up all that time, I don't know, but it works. And, the general rule of anthologies, some are much better than others, so you get a pretty mixed bag here. And oddly enough, I had seen the ABCs of Death Part 2 from 2014. First, I'd watched that, I don't know, maybe a year ago or so. And I did like it for the most part. It had some really, really cool shorts on it. So yeah, 26 directors. I won't name them all because that would just, take forever, but I'll name a few that I'm familiar with. These are in no order, by the way, but starting with Angela Bettis, who I absolutely love, and I had no idea that she had ever directed anything. And then you've got Jason Eisner, a Canadian director who gave us the awesome Hobo with a Shotgun in 2011. Check that one out if you haven't. It's a real fun, kind of grindhousey type film with Rutger Hauer. Highly recommended by me. Adrian Garcia Bogliano, a Spanish director who brought us some really cool stuff like Here Comes the Devil from 2012. I liked that one back when it came out. I don't think I've seen it since. And Night of the Wolf, otherwise known as Late Phases from 2014, a very, very cool werewolf movie. Definitely check that one out. Then there's Javier Gens, a French director who gave us the new French extremity classic Frontiers. Frontiers back in 2007. Yeah, it was 2007. God damn it. Fact check me if you want. Then we've got Jorge Michel Grau, a Mexican director that directed the disturbing cannibal family film We Are What We Are back in 2010. Not to be mistaken for the American remake from 2013, which I've talked about here in this channel. Then there's Noboru Iguchi, a Japanese director who directed The Machine Girl from 2008, which I really enjoyed. Yoshihiro Nishimura, another Japanese director who directed Tokyo Gore Police in 2008. Another schlocky, violent, Japanese film that I enjoy. Marcel Sarmiento, an American director who gave us Dead Girl back in 2008, which I thought was a really interesting film. I have it in my collection. That could use a rewatch. I remember it being, like I said, interesting. Then there's Sarjan Spazojevic, a Serbian director who saw a lot of success with the fucking infamous Serbian film back in 2010, a movie that I never watched, and I don't really think that I'm going to. And oddly enough, never directed anything after his short here, so I don't know what's going on with him, but his short here is interesting. Then we've got a Spanish director, Nacho Vigilando, who's done a lot of cool stuff, really. Kind of been a rising star for a while now. Directed the much-loved Time Crimes back in 2007, among a bunch of other stuff that he's done. Then we've got one of the more talked-about directors in horror these days, especially for American horror. We've got Ty West, known for the X trilogy and many other cool things. Almost everything he's done. Actually, I think everything he's done so far has been, at least in my opinion, awesome. I got a couple more. Ben Wheatley, a British director who directed Kill List in 2011, a film that I've been wanting to see it's been on my list to check out for, God, at least probably 5-7 years. I've heard Kill List is just such a damn cool movie. I still haven't seen it. I need to bump that up on the list, though. Then we've got one more I'll throw at you. Adam Wingard, an American director who directed The Guest from 2014, cool movie. You're Next from 2011, cool movie. And he's done the recent Godzilla Kong movies, so he's found a lot of success since this short here. And he's done stuff, in the VHS franchise. He's definitely He's definitely kind of a fan favorite director these days. And last but not least, we've got Yudai Yamaguchi, who gave us Yakuza Weapon in 2011 and Meatball Machine in 2005. Some more schlocky, violent Japanese films that I enjoy. So yeah, I hope I didn't bore you there, but I had to do something with all these directors. I had to name at least as many as I could within reason. I would have loved to have named them all, but I also want people to watch this video. We'll see how that goes. Overall, though, there's a ton of variety here, way more than I expected, and I appreciated that. And I was kind of surprised by the amount of humor that you find in some of these shorts. Like some of these, they're all dark. Like there's no straight comedy, but some of these shorts are way more humorous than I expected. Just almost crossing the line of just absolute ridiculousness. Is that a word? I don't know. I use it. And there's also a good number of animated shorts here. Another thing I didn't really expect. Just using various types of animation. I'm no expert on animation. I don't know anything about it. Some of them look like claymation. I don't know. We'll just call it that. I personally thought that the film starts off a little slow. I didn't really get into the first 3 or 4, maybe even 5 shorts. My initial thought was that the runtime was a little long, but it is 26 shorts, so I think it's justified. I think the film is a little over 2 hours. There are some great shorts here, though, and I think it's worth any horror fan's time. And I think there's something here for really everyone due to all the variety. There's even some pretty shocking and like extreme scenes, so the fans of the more extreme stuff will even find something here. Now, here's some of the shorts that I liked the most. I think we'll start with D is for Dog. Dog Fight, actually, I think it was called D is for Dog Fight. Wasn't particularly a favorite, but I really liked how the story was about a man entering an underground like Fight Club type thing to try and find his dog Buddy and bring him back. That was pretty touching. F is for Fart. It's just weird, man, and hilarious. Weird and hilarious. If you've ever wanted to see a fart joke turned into a short film, fucking here you go, man. H is for Hydroelectric Diffusion, is another wacky one about like a bulldog man during World War II and a Nazi stripper who is a fox woman. It's so ridiculous. J is for Jidai Geki, I think. Takes place in feudal era Japan and kind of reminded me of Riki-Oh, the story of Ricky. It's a weird one. K is for Klutz is another wild animated short claymation, I think. I don't know. But it is about a woman at a house party who's trying to flush a toilet after pooping, but it just won't go down. This is, of course, I think everyone's greatest fear, and it was cool seeing someone address that in a horror short. L is for Libido is kind of like a Saw or Hostel-esque short that crosses some lines that I'm not really comfortable with, but, whatever. M is for Miscarriage was my most anticipated short since it was directed by Ty West. But it was also like a minute long, and therefore was, for me, a huge disappointment. Missed opportunity, I would say, but obviously Ty West has gone on to do much, much bigger things than a short film. Q for Quack was really cool with Adam Wingard and Simon Barrett dealing with having the worst letter in the alphabet to write their short about, and a $5,000 budget on top of that. T is for Toilet is another funny yet really brutal claymation-looking short. And the interesting thing is that it was directed by Lee Hardcastle, who was selected by winning a contest with his submission. So that's really cool. X is for XXL is very gory and has total New French Extremity vibes all over it, which is not coincidental since it was directed by Javier Gens of Frontiers fame. So I hope this mess of a review didn't seem too disjointed. Anthologies are kind of hard to review. I have learned. I didn't want this to be too long, but also not too short, so I don't know. It's also kind of hard giving a score to an anthology. This may or may not be fair. I don't know. I'm just going to give it a 6 out of 10. I did enjoy it for the most part. At times it kind of drags. Not all shorts are as good as some of the others, but yeah, I think a 6 is fair. Cheers, guys.